Hello and welcome back to another one of Paul's beer reviews. Hope you're doing well today. I have got a ruby beer. It's described as from Wychwood. It's been a couple of years since I've done a Wychwood review. And it's another one of those beers that it was brought to my attention I haven't reviewed yet. I'll get my words out. It's a beer I haven't reviewed yet, but it's a beer that I've had numerous times and from what I can remember I've always relatively enjoyed. It's King Goblin. Hobgoblin's big brother. Essentially, described as an Imperial ruby beer coming in at 6.6% ABV. Love the artwork. You got the Hobgoblin with his crown on there because he's the King Goblin. What's he say about this beer? He says the King of Legends, deep ruby in colour with aromas of treacle, toffee and dried fruits. Brewed with a blend of the finest crystal and chocolate malts and the addition of sovereign hops. Packed full of sweet caramel, coffee and earthy roasted malt flavours for a warming seal of approval. So sovereign hops, I don't know too much about sovereign hops. So let me get my hop doodah up here, see if we've got any information about it. Nothing on that page. Anything on this page? No. Nothing. Sovereign. So it is a British hop, but no information about it. So there you go. So I know nothing about sovereign hops. I don't know what I'm likely to be getting from it. But Hobgoblin, classic, absolute classic. I did a beer review recently that they mentioned the fact that it had crystal malts in it, and I always associate crystal malts with Hobgoblin. So I'm assuming this is going to be more of an enhanced version of Hobgoblin, which is a classic, to be honest. It's a classic ruby beer, which I still quite enjoy. I know a lot of people knock it, and I think since Marston's acquired Wychwood a couple of years or so ago now, well, it's a few years ago actually, I would agree that the quality of Hobgoblin has diminished somewhat, but it's still a very drinkable beer, and their IPA, I still argue, is a banger, an absolute banger. So yeah, so we're going to get into the King. We're going to get into the King Goblin. There is the classic Wychwood logo on the bottle cap. Yeah, I've got a lot of time for Wychwood. They've done some great beers over the years. I've done a few reviews of Wychwood on the channel since I started it. Their Christmas beers I've always enjoyed, bar Humbug. What was the other one they did? Was it Rockin' Robin or something like that? Wow, look at that. That's developed beautifully in the glass. There's a little bit more in there. We'll let that head just to go down a little bit. Give it a dink. That is a clean glass, but apparently there's a bit of grease stuck to it. But that's a beautiful colour, isn't it? Beautiful. And it's ruby. It's ruby coloured. Lovely dark brown, reddy colour to it. You can see it all the way through that. Carbonation, there is quite a bit of carbonation. See a few bubbles rising up that one, bit of life in it. That spacious, slightly off-white head is just starting to dissipate a little bit, so let's get the rest of that in there, get it all in. But yeah, oh wow, I just got an aroma, just that last little bit that came out of the bottle, just I got an aroma from it. But it looks lovely. It really does look good. Beautiful looking ruby ale. Traditional ale look about it. 6.6% this one. Let's get me snouting. Oh yeah. Dark fruits. And you're getting the malts. It's unmistakable chocolate. Crystal malts coming through. Yeah, it smells really good. There's like a candied sweetness to it. Like tell you what it reminds me of. You know, you get them foam shrimps. There's like a touch of that in there. Whether that's what they were going for, and it's just my nose that's getting it, but it's malty. It's fruity, lots of dark fruits coming through. I'm going to get stuck in. Cheers, everyone. Oh, oh, it's complex. It's rich. It's fruity. It's malty. It's spicy. And there is just a little bit of a lingering, there's a lingering spiciness to it rather than bitterness. It never quite what am I doing? It never quite gets to a bitter stage. Oh, that's good, man. That's still really nice. That's still a really nice ruby ale. I don't care what anyone says. I think that's good. It's hoppy. There's definitely a hoppy character to it. I don't know what the what you get from Sovereign hops generally, off the top of my head. It's not something I'm all that familiar with. But there is a spiciness that's just starting to build up. It's almost like a touch of ginger, like a touch of cinnamon at the back end. It'd be the perfect beer for Christmas, you know, something like this. I mean, we're September now, so Christmas adverts are going to start coming on telly soon, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Let's go in again. It's so fruity. It's like fruitcake. There's a lovely malty character to it. A lovely sort of roasted barley, roasted malt character to it that kind of blends with this dark fruit, like sort of raisins and sultanas. A touch of cherry sweetness there as well. Mouthfeel is light. Its carbonation is very gentle, but does enough. I've never had this on cask. I don't know if anyone who's watching has had it on cask. If you've had it on cask, let me know in the comments below. What's it like on cask? But this is about as close to a cask conditioned beer as you'll get from a bottle. That's what I'm kind of feeling. Once you get a full flavour of the mouthfeel, it's reminiscent to a cask quality beer. The mouthfeel on it. I imagine on cask this would probably be slightly thicker, maybe a touch smoother, but not a lot. As it is, it's very smooth. It really lets the ingredients do the talking. It's really fruity. There's a proper punch of like a boozy fruitcake taste up front. Cherry, sultanas, raisins, that kind of flavour. And then you're getting a touch of that roasted malt. A touch of coffee. Just a touch of coffee. And then it finishes off with a nice, slightly drying, spicy finish. Ginger, cinnamon. It's lovely. It's a really nice beer. It's a really, really nice beer. And you consider you can get this everywhere. Everywhere. Every supermarket you go into. Well, I'm not 100% sure every supermarket you go into, but I mean, you see this all over the place, King Goblin. 6.6% ruby beer. That's lovely. That is a really nice beer. And I'll tell you what, I would love to have this on cask because it's been a while. I've had Hobgoblin on cask and loved it. And that wasn't all that long ago as well. I had that in the Elephant's Head in Camden. Not too long ago. I thought it was fantastic. Whenever I see Hobgoblin on, I'm always drawn to it. It's one of them beers that I've always enjoyed. This, I would love to have a go on cask. It's lovely. It's complex. It's refreshing. Fruitcake, spices. In all honesty, it's a bit of a winter warmer. It's a good festive beer, but it's delicious. It's really nicely made. I've got no issues with that whatsoever. Maybe slightly thin. Other than that, no issues with it whatsoever. I still think that's a cracking beer. And it's like 180 a bottle in most supermarkets. It's lovely. I'm going to give that a solid 8 out of 10. It's really good for the price. You're not going to get many better in terms of an Imperial Ruby Ale. I think that's a lovely beer. King Goblin from Wychwood. 8 out of 10 for me. Lovely beer. I hope you've enjoyed the review. Give it a thumbs up if you have. I do appreciate it. Until my next one, you take care.